Eerie, complex, and definitely shady. Animal Farm is truly an all-time classic, some sort of satire to the grim Russian Revolution in 1917. Released on August 17, 1945, yes, the same day of Indonesian independence, the writer of the book, George Orwell, was a true critic. Animal Farm has two featured adaptations, the 1954 animated film and the 1999 TV live-action film. Each has their own unique characteristics, and their way of delivering Mr. Orwell's allegory is somewhat different. So in today's video, we will uncover the double edges of Animal Farm. And let me tell you, both are creepy in their own way. I mean, look at that pig! What you just witnessed earlier was a character named Old Major from the 1999 live-action film. Now I will do a quick wrap-up of both the animated one and then the live-action one. Now this one, the animated one, it was released on December 29th of 1954. It's under the same title just like the novel, The Animal Farm, and it was produced and written by both John Hellis and Joy Batchelor. It got over than 60% of likes in Rotten Tomatoes. And then, fun fact, Maurice Denham is the only voice actor that voices all of the animals. Just like the pigs, Napoleon, Snowball, until the lambs, the annoying ones. And let's go to the next one, the 1999 live-action film. It was released on October 3rd, and it was produced by John Stephenson and written by Alan Janice. In my opinion, I prefer the animated one, because the animated one is better in terms of storytelling and overall, what do you call it? The comfort level of me watching, because I think anthropomorphic animals are just very creepy in my opinion, and that's why I chose the animated film. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the differences between each, what makes them unique, and then the different messages they convey from the animated one and the live-action one. And overall, I think the book, the animated film, and then the live-action movie, they are all different in terms of delivering the story. So, the grand question, how are both films different if they're telling the same story? Let us trace back to the producers. One fact that really shocked me is that the 1954 animated movie is funded by the Central Intelligence Agency, namely the CIA. One of the lead animators, Brian Sibley, wasn't even aware of the organization's act, let alone the whole animation team. The reason behind this is that the American CIA at the time made an effort to encourage a negative and bad view of the Soviet Union. Why, you ask? The Cold War between those two global superpowers was pretty much happening. That's why some of the scenes in the movie are so exaggerated and yet so iconic. Yes, war. War is the key word of all this. Because at the time, entertainment was pretty related to propagandas and such, and not to mention the different target audiences. And that's why I could say that the 1954 animated movie tells the story so straightforward. They even put Napoleon, yes, Napoleon the pig, in the suits, and he stands on 2 feet. And it gives me so much goosebumps how it resembles the dictator Joseph Stalin. And on the other half, the live-action film is set on 1999, and you actually can feel the Hollywood vibe. It's no more propaganda. It's solely a film adaptation of a certain novel created during the Second World War. And I just checked on the website. The 1999 live-action film actually falls to the category of comedy, drama, and family. Yes, family. It's very different than the animated one. And that pretty much gives different messages to, of course, different audiences. For a propaganda film, you need to be captivated more. Meanwhile, for a family movie, what you get is entertainment. Aside from the different producers, the time of release, the plot differences also give different meanings to the story as a whole. It's clear that the endings of both the 1954 and the 1999 live-action film, they are all different from the book. The book ended when Mr. Pilkington was having dinner with Napoleon, while the animals still suffered outside. It's sad. It's not a happy ending, it's a sad ending, and that's different from the movies. The movies ended with the animals riot against Napoleon. They defeated him and finally gained freedom. But what sets apart between these two movies is the one that tells the story, the narrator. The narrator in the animated one was nowhere to be seen. He's just there telling the misery of all the animals. Meanwhile, on the live action movie, the narrator is Jessie, the dog, the female dog that was actually dead on the animated movie. It's very different, but still, it gives more development to the animals. Jessie being the one that tells the story, she gives more development to the animals, and we as viewers kind of feel what the animals are feeling, even though it's just little. Even though, to be honest, both films still portray the dark and grim reality, and they remind the audiences of how destructive a radical ideologies become. This wraps up the differences between the 1954 animated movie and the 1999 live action movie. In conclusion, a certain object can be different when you're seeing it in a different view. Take a look at this classic picture. Some might say it's an old lady, but some might say it's a young woman wearing a hat with feathers. It depends on how you are seeing it. And this is just like Animal Farm. The Russian Revolution novel is portrayed differently by two different producers with different intentions of making them. One is portraying the dark and grim war and corruption, meanwhile, the other is portraying them as hope and freedom. At the end, they are all one big picture. That's all for this video. It serves as a project to my English teacher, Mr. Daron. I hope you enjoyed the video. I would like to apologize in advance if there's any mistakes found in the video. My name is Andrayane Vera Oktafia. I'll see you next time.